We're here in Iceland ready to do some incredibly exciting and magical things. First and foremost, we're going to go on the Golden Circle, where we're going to check where two of the biggest tectonic plates on the planet comes together. We're going to see actual continental drift of the Northern American continent, and we're also going to see the Euro-Asian continent as well. After that, we'll be visiting the peninsula, where it is said that half giant and half troll once have ruled, and there's a beautiful statue and very magical valley we're going to see as well. Then we're going to be doing the south coast, the beautiful magical south coast, which is said that when you walk into it, it's like walking into euphoria and walking into paradise. We will also be attending elf school. We will be going to one of these black beaches and picking up magical elf pebbles and see many beautiful waterfalls. Another interesting fact about Iceland is that there's not a lot of ice here. About 10% of Iceland is covered by great glaciers, and therefore it's really quite green, which is in stark contrast to Greenland, that is over 80% covered with glaciers, but then is called Greenland. So locals tell us that the reason for that is that the Vikings who lived in Iceland didn't really want people to come here and bother them, so they decided to call it Iceland. Also, we've barely arrived and we're very pleasantly surprised with how warm it is. I mean, we ran from Cape Town, the Cape of Storms winter, in order to have warmer weather, but we knew that Iceland was going to be ice cold, right? Yet the weather has been pleasant. They probably have about 4 months of summer, and that's really allowed us to see things here in Iceland that you wouldn't normally see in winter.
So as you can see, we've had an amazing time in Iceland. It is certainly a beautiful country, and if you've watched Game of Thrones, you'll recognize some of the backgrounds. So what are 3 tips to doing business in Iceland? Number 1 is that entrepreneurship is very different here. It's very underground. The incubators, the hubs, the co-working spaces that we're so used to in most of the world, they're tough to find here because they exist inside other businesses. Entrepreneurship is really through the universities. Number 2, the Icelanders have a very funny and unique sense of humor. They like to be really casual. They like to do business over dinners and things like that, and they like to poke jokes and poke fun at you. And number 3 is that they're very savvy with tech and what's coming next. So they see themselves as very much part of the Scandinavian revolution that's happening on the planet right now in terms of technology and new thinking. So expect underground, quirkiness, and new thinking when you come to Iceland. Next up for us, we're heading to Finland. One of the things we learn at elf school in Iceland is about the hidden people. Now, if that's not a hidden sheep right there drinking from the waterfall, if you can't see that, then you need to work on your imagination a little bit.